This entire episode was about Quiet Ann, and I was here for it. Throw in that resentment, honey, and it was live. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing? Ray of Sunshines. We are reviewing Claw, season number 2, episode number 4, Scream. If it's your first time visiting my channel, hey, go ahead, click that red subscribe button to be a Ray of Sunshine. And everybody has that notification bell clicked so that they're alerted of the videos when I upload them. Yes? Good. So I'm all here for this episode of Claws. You know we wanted to know a lot more about Quiet Ann because she's so quiet. I wanted to know what she was thinking and how she was moving, because the people that are quiet are probably the most deadly, or are probably doing the most observing. We're going to call it that. So when we open up the scene, we see Quiet Ann being awakened by a phone call from Department of Children Family Services. Honey, and all it did was really cause her angst, because Arlene were going to have a baby. They were going to adopt a baby and be a family. Well, at this particular time, we then see where Quiet Ann lives. She lives on the beach. She's a beach bum. Her trailer's right outside on the beach. She's a surfer. I mean, we found out a lot of stuff about her. We found out not only does she live on the beach, not only is she a surfer, we found out that she speaks 5 languages, that she has a degree. We met her brother. We saw her parents. Okay, let me not get beside myself. Let me keep going. But I was all here for the data, the intel that they were giving us. They were telling us what she was thinking about the people when they were saying it. I was so in love with all that. Let's get back to recapping. Well, pretty much what we see is Quiet Ann really showing resentment towards everybody. She's wondering, how in the fuck does she turn into a gopher? How did she end up going from a badass to just a I'm here to help everybody kind of chick? Like, that's not who she was. And so she's looking at them as she goes throughout the time, and she's looking at them and going, yeah, you don't see me for who I am. I'm having my own issues. Like when Jennifer was in there and she was drunk and she was looking at Jennifer like, come on, pull it together. Told her, pull it together. Because she was like, oh shit, she's drinking again. She was like, though I'm quiet, doesn't mean I don't have an opinion. Doesn't mean I don't have thoughts and things. And as we can see, she does, honey. She's got several of them. I also really kind of paid attention when I was looking at the dynamic between Desna and they really kind of played it up to show that maybe she is just treating her like a lackey, like she's her flunky, her go-to, her assistant. Like, you don't see me anymore as a friend. Well, when they were at work and she tells Jen to pull it together because Jen was knocking shit over because she was drunk as fuck with painting shit outside, the nails and shit. The brother comes in. Henry's cute. Henry's cute. The girls don't know Henry personally. Come to find out, she hadn't talked to any of her family or spent time with her family in over 4 years. And her and Henry were pretty close. Henry is a state senator. Right? He's part of the Senate. I think that's what they said. Henry's also gay. He's in the closet. He's in the public eye, but not with his personal life. So how does that work for you if you're gay and it's in secret? Do you get to have a relationship secretly? Do you start like having people sign confidentiality agreements? Like, how does that work? Because love will have motherfuckers do some crazy, dangerous ass shit. I mean, break up with me, get your whole life fucked over. I'm just saying, how does that work? Well, also, we see Madame come in with the 3 girls. Now, listen. The 3 girls and Madame are going to get their nails, get them a spa treatment. But Madame has really got a whole lot of questions, right? And so when Desna says, oh, because Zlatla comes in and she tells her, yeah, she takes care of these girls. Her and Dr. Ruval, or her and Gregory take care of these girls. The girls looked up like, girl, I'm still all here thinking that maybe just possibly that those girls are really being trafficked, that they're sex slaves, that they didn't have nowhere else to go, so Madame is using them for her benefit. What y'all think? I really feel that in my spirit. I can't wait to see are they? What the fuck? What kind of fucking role do they play? You know they're gonna tell us this season. Anyway, but Madame is sitting there and she is like grilling the fuck out of Desna. Now, if Desna's not answering, is Latla's answering? Jen's answering, Virginia's answering, Polly's answering, Desna is giving some answers, but pretty much Madame wants to know who the fuck you are. Why are you single? What happened with your last boyfriend? How come you ain't never been married? And it's so funny that Desna later on went on to say most black women her age aren't married. And that is so true. Most black women in their 40s have never been married. It is a really high statistic. It is so true. Okay. Anyway, I know several of my own. If I think about my own friends, you know, I'm fabulous in 40 with an S. So I think about my own friends and I can see who's been married or in committed relationships, and it's true. It's not a myth. Black women of a certain age, once they, you know, you reach a certain age and you're like, you've never been married. Okay, that's neither here nor there. But she wants to know, and then she spills the beans and says, if my son is going to I need to know who my son is going to marry. And they all get looking, what you say? And then they cut into them at Jen and Des's house, and they're celebrating because she's getting married. Hold on, ho. That's just from his mama's mouth. Has he asked you? Slow your roll all the way down. Pull up, bitch. Pull the fuck up. Because he ain't asked you. Don't get to celebrating yet. And you don't know the real tea about him. Because you in there hollering he ain't a drug dealer. And he ain't deceitful. And he's honest about his intentions. And all this shit. Pull up, ho. Pull up. Because we're going to see you crying in a ball soon enough, I'm sure. Heartbroken. Because when you find out what we know. Anyway, let's keep going. Y'all saw Dean twerking? Twerk something for me. Dean gonna be a hot mess, ain't he? He gonna leave fucking Virginia. Because the ladies is gonna love them some Dean. Anyway, she getting on his last damn nerves, trying to tell him, give him suggestions. He working on his own moves. I'm gonna get it together myself. You ain't got to tell me nothing, even though you was a stripper and probably a good stripper. You ain't got to tell me. So he's a little irritated with her. Your shampoo or your conditioner. The smell of it is getting on my nerves, child. And I think this is kind of pivotal because Desna leaves the party to go have a meeting with Zlata. And all the girls aren't having it. You can see that this is brewing. And Quiet Ann is in the background like, oh, okay, so this is where your loyalty lies. Like, this is who you rock with. This is who you fuck with. You finna leave this party to go hang out with her when we your girls and we got your back. Oh, because you a lieutenant now. Like, that's how she's thinking this entire time. When her brother came, he had said to her, come have dinner. It's Dad's birthday. Come have dinner with us. Okay, so they go and they have dinner. And baby, if Quiet Ann didn't look good, if I was that way, she could get it, honey, because she looked good in that little red suit. I need to find me a two-piece little pantsuit like that that's going to look good like that on me, but in white. Her hair was down. She looked really classic and really beautiful, really upper echelon, if I must say so myself. And this is where we find out that she speaks 5 languages. We find out that she has a degree. We knew from last season that she was married, and we knew that she had went to jail because her girlfriend, her husband was sleeping with her girlfriend or some shit like that, and she tried to kill her. We also see the Quiet Ann. Annalisa is having a breakdown, having a moment, tired of pretending, tired of listening to her family and her friends just talking, be full of horse shit. I was like, come on, Claus, with the immigration conversation. Come on, Claus, let's talk about it. You know, and they're from Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Or they're Cuban and their family are immigrants. And she was like, how dare we be hypocrites and say that people can't come into a country trying to escape and come to a better life from somewhere worse than poverty and come to a better life. I was all for them in that discussion that they had about immigration and the stance that Quiet Ann had actually taken. I had to switch cameras, y'all. I wasn't finna start over from scratch. So my heart goes out to Quiet Ann in that bathroom, baby. I felt her pain. I felt her getting ready to come out of her shell. Like, I got to tell a whole lot of people a gang of shit. They need to hear my voice, and they need to hear it loud, honey. And when she walked out of that restroom smelling like weed, like ganja, honey, her family was like, she's high. And you know, they speaking in Cuban, right? They speaking in their native tongue. And I'm loving the switch back and forth, because that's how real life families who speak more than one language in the house, that's really what they do in real life. So I love that, honey. And she straight up started talking to her family and telling them, you have ruined my life. You ruined my life. You always wanted me to be quiet. And they were like, we didn't ruin your life. You ruined your life. When you went to prison, and then you for killing that woman, your girlfriend, and then you come back and you don't do shit but go work at the fucking nail salon as sitting on a box as a bodyguard. Baby, if they didn't tell her the truth, bitch, you are well educated. And I get that it's going to be hard to find some place, but somebody is going to take you. Nonetheless, they go back and forth for a bit, and she outs her brother Henry, and he's gay. Honey, and next thing I know, nobody gives a fuck if he's gay. We don't care if he's gay. The mom and Quiet saying you guys had a fit when I came out the closet. And they were like, that wasn't why. We could care less if you're gay. We could care less if you're gay. It's because you are ruining your potential. That's when they said it. And then she was like, shit, I'm gay. Your dad's gay, honey. The whole scene shut down. For me, I was like, what the fuck is really going on? The whole entire family, honey, is gay. The mama, the daddy, the sister, the brother. Everybody is gay. And I was like, well, no wonder. But they knew that their son was gay. They knew that. And I'm wondering, I guess they're their biological children. They fucked for a while. And as they walked out the door, they explained to them that back then it wasn't as widely accepted. And we have been each other's beards for a long, long time. For those of you who are living under a rock, a beard means the cover up, the pretend, the face, the front that you're putting on to everyone else. And pretty much Quiet Ann's like, well, it's acceptable now. And she said, Mama said, listen, all we asking is that you keep our business to ourselves. Don't you fucking go run and tell nobody that shit. And so they depart. We are all enlightened about her whole family situation. She's sitting out having a good evening with her brother on the beach, doing an all-nighter, smoking weed, honey, and gets a phone call, which she was enjoying, and gets a phone call from Jen. And you can hear it in Jen's voice that she's drunk. She's like, I need your help. So she goes to get her friend Jennifer. And when she goes, she's at the liquor store. And baby, Jennifer's ass is a hot fucking mess, okay? Over there looking real worn, real tattered, like she been up all night drinking and smoking and shit. And she had been drinking straight out the box in the fucking liquor store because the bitch didn't have $6 to pay for the shit. Like, somebody come and help me. Like, this bitch was like all in. I just wanted to drink and I wanted to purchase a gun so that I could shoot. Well, you know what? If you didn't think that Quiet Ann had feminine wiles, shame on you, because baby, she pulled him out and got her friend out of the trouble. And honey, I damn near threw up when Jennifer threw up on her feet, her bare feet. Okay, you good friends, bitch. If she ain't push you while you was throwing up and had there to say, hold my hair, and bitch, you held it while she threw up. I loved it though. Quiet Ann is what we call loyal. Well, then we see Jen goes to an AA meeting because guess what? The bitch needs it. She is falling all the way off the fucking wagon. And it has ran over her frontward and backward. And Quiet Ann is like, I really hate these things. I wish some excitement would come. And I'm thinking it was a daydream, but it was real life with her guitar and she was singing. And her husband walks in, Bryce walks in. She's singing, I'm an alcoholic and he's a crackhead. And they have this rendition of that song. And I'm looking like, okay, y'all. Jen, you got a little voice on you. Okay, I see you, girl. Yes. Well, it wasn't a daydream. They go outside and Bryce is like, I'm done. I'm finished. I can't do it because every time I close my eyes, I see you and him fucking. I'm going to file for divorce. I'm filing the papers. I can't do this no more. At the same time, he spills the beans about them coming for Zlata and her crew. Like, we trying to get shit back. He gets to run in his mouth and all the girls hear them. Of course, Desa's fucking ass was late, right? Because she was too busy with her newfound boss, right? And love. So, he spills the beans, and this is also when Desna starts to try to figure out, well, what should happen? Should I say something to Zlatla or should I not? Because if I don't say something, they're gonna come and kill her. If I say something, things are gonna go back to normal, and I'm gonna be working for the Dixie Mafia again. Like, I mean, that's a good quandary. Right now, you making all the money, and you got some clout with you. You know, and you say you want to help your girls, and this is a way to do it. So I see both sides of the coin. But your loyalty showing the fuck shouldn't be to the Dixie Mafia. I'm just saying. Well, we get back to the shop, and Marnie comes in and says we have a problem. Pretty much, bitch, I'm a part of the Nation of Islam, and I wore a hijab, which was just her scarf. She didn't wear a hijab, but she wore a scarf. That she likes Malik, but Malik is Muslim, and it's interracial sexual intercourse is prohibited. But I'm gonna be part of the Nation of Islam. You really ain't my mama. This was just temporary. I'm gonna leave soon. Honey, Polly is all like, I'm never gonna leave you, Lillian. I'm always gonna be here for you, Lillian. Who the fuck is Lillian, y'all? We all was looking like, who the fuck is Lillian? Desna knows who Lillian is, but we don't know who the fuck Lillian is. Do you? Is it her twin sister, or is it a baby that she had to get rid of? Y'all, what do you think? I'm thinking maybe it's her twin sister, since they introduced that in that last episode. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, because I'm curious. That's one thing that I don't have my pulse on quite yet. Desna starts to ask, what does she think ask the girls, what do you think I should do? Should I tell Zlatla or not? I'm in a quandary. And she asks the girls, and then she says Quiet Ann, because Quiet Ann is the one you really want to ask, because Quiet Ann is the brilliant one. We knew that, though, didn't we? Did I make mention of that last season? I don't know. Go back and watch all my videos from season 1 and come back and let me know. But she was the brilliant one. Them quiet ones got a lot going on in their mind. They got a lot going on in their mind. And so when she starts to talk about it and asks, she says, I know my mind keeps saying, be loyal, but to whom? And when she asked Quiet Ann said, I know the fuck you ain't asking me. This me paraphrasing. I know the fuck you ain't asking me. Because you ain't loyal. You don't know the first thing about being loyal. Bitch, you done ran off and left us for motherfucking Zlatla and all in love with Dr. Ruval. And here I am. You wasn't there for Jen with her mishap and her alcoholism, right? I'm over here in turmoil because I was in love with Arlene, and we were going to have a baby together. She probably didn't say that right then. Nonetheless, she was like, bitch. That was the big thing. And, shit. Desna said, don't you ever call me that again. And start walking up on her. Shit, Ann was like, bitch. And Desna pushed her. Ann pushed her again, slapped the shit out of her, and you seen them kind of, act like they was finna break up some shit of a tussle or whatever. Look, I know that shit happened real quick, but you wouldn't have been able to get in between me real fast while you didn't slap me like that. But it was like an awakening slap. Polly went after Quiet Ann, and they have their own conversation. And Quiet Ann says, I don't want to hear one of your stories. Nobody believes the shit. You always being somebody else. You don't know who you are. Honey, Polly was like, bitch, neither do you. We don't know who you are. Though I have different characters, you say shit. We don't know nothing about you. You ain't sharing shit, but we know it's somebody different under there. You are being judgy in your mind. Baby, I was like, Quiet Ann. I was like, Polly girl, you better go on and tell her the truth, though. Go on and tell her the truth, because she is being uber righteous in her head while she talking about everybody. I was like, everybody needs friends that's going to tell you the fucking truth and not sugarcoat the shit because it sounds good. It feels good to you. Anyway, let's keep it pushing. Well, then they have this conversation, and all the girls are in there, and Quiet Ann pours out her soul about Arlene, that she was in love with her, and that she broke up with her and had her lose her job for her, and they were gonna adopt a family and all this stuff, and they say to her, go after your girl. She's gone, I don't want her, she's gone, she's moved on. Go after your girl. We see Quiet Ann in front of Arlene's house, banging on the door. Arlene's not there. She goes in her van. She calls her. She leaves her this message that tells her, I'm sorry, I set you up. I was covering up for Desna. I mean, she puts this on her fucking voicemail. I was covering up for Desna. I set you up, blase. Like, I'm all like, you're incriminating yourself. You're incriminating Desna. I did this for like, I'm all like, bitch, you smarter than this. I told y'all in the beginning, love is gonna fuck you up. And that is exactly what it's doing to fucking Arlene. I mean, to Quiet Ann. And so she calls, when she calls and leaves that message and tells her about the baby and all this adoption stuff, conveniently, Arlene calls right back and says, I got the call too this morning. Meet me at my house in a few hours. Ooh, the shit finna hit the fan. When they opened up that lens and we saw that she was in that fucking narc police car, I was like, this is all trickery. This is all fuckery. It is all a setup. It has been a setup all the way from when the phone call came in. I believe it was the Asian chick. I don't know her name, but she's a comedian, I believe. I believe it was her that called Quiet Ann and said that they were DCFS. It's all part of the plan, baby. And then you see them roll up on fucking Dr. Ken like you're under arrest. It's all a setup. That whole breakup was a setup. Everything is a setup, and I feel like it's about to come out to light. What do you guys think? Let me know how you felt about this entire episode, honey, because I was in love with it. I'm in love with the train of how this thought is going. I mean, last season was real quirky. It was funny. I did almost quit, but this season is really about how I like to, what kind of shows I like. Like, it's trashy enough, but it's got enough twists and turns to have me like, bitch, everybody going to jail. I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Thank you so much for watching my recap and review of Claws, season number 2, episode number 4, Scream. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll see you on the next video.